Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the pregame report between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. Tonight is game number 2, and as of the recording of this video, I'm not sure if there's actually any lineup changes, but we will discuss all of that. If you like these pregame reports and you're excited and want to see more, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button and hit that little bell so that you're notified every time I go live or upload a new video. Speaking of going live, yes, I will be live tonight. I know I wasn't live for game 1. I was dealing with a bit of a stomach issue, but I'm feeling much better now. And I'm excited to get the ball rolling on the live streams in the Stanley Cup Finals. And hopefully Edmonton can come out, play just as well as they did in game 1, and then also generate, at least a couple goals here. That would be very nice. They got to find a way to beat Bobrovsky. Sergei Bobrovsky had one of the best games I've seen him play in his entire career, which is saying something because Bobrovsky's had some pretty good games in his career over the years. So for the Edmonton Oilers, they've got to get traffic in front of him. They've got to screen him a little bit and make his life a little bit more miserable in the blue paint. Now, speaking of the projected lineup, Florida, they lead the series 1-0. They're going to be looking to take a 2-0 stranglehold before the series goes back to Edmonton for game 3, which I believe is on Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, yeah, Thursday. Top line. Now, this is not the actual projected lineup. This is the lineup that I would go with. This is the one that I would personally go with, and it is actually the same lineup that they pretty much went with against the Dallas Stars, but there's a couple, players switched around here. So top line, Nugent Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, and for the love of God, keep them together. Do not split them. Do not put Draisaitl up with McDavid. You were just, you're hamstringing yourselves. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and you're allowing Florida to shut down one main line, a lot of the offense on one line. And if you allow them to do that, it's difficult for the rest of the lineup to score. McDavid and Draisaitl have to be on separate lines here. Second line, I have McLeod with Draisaitl and Perry. I find Ryan McLeod plays his best hockey when he's on the wing, not when he's playing center. And then Corey Perry, he could probably be switched out. You might be able to have Fogle up there instead and then have Perry healthy scratched. But if you went with the McLeod, Draisaitl, and Fogle line, they were a very successful unit in the regular season. That's pretty much where McLeod got most of his offense, was when he was on a line with Draisaitl and Warren Fogle, so you could do that. I do have Corey Perry there, though, just because of the way the Florida Panthers play, how physical they are, how mean they are. They do start stuff after whistles. Corey Perry is someone that can be there and also muck it up if you need to in the top 6. Third line, I'm going Evander Kane with Adam Henrique and Dylan Holloway. Kane, I would like to see him get going just a little bit more here. He is a little snake bitten. He's not scoring a whole lot right now. He did have some pretty big hits against the Florida Panthers in game 1. However, I just need to see a little bit more. Adam Henrique, I thought he had a really good game on the 4th line in game 1. In my projected lineup, I would like to see him on the 3rd line with Dylan Holloway. I find Henrique and Holloway work pretty well together, and Evander Kane is a good complementary player. He's physical. He can put the puck in the net. The Oilers are going to need some depth goals here in this series if they want to be able to come back and prevent themselves from going down 0-2. 4th line, I have Janmark, Carrick, and Brown. Carrick, I want in there for faceoffs. Of course, you could put Ryan in there. I have Perry listed twice. That should be Ryan, Gagne, Fogle as like the scratched forwards. I don't know why I have Perry up on the 2nd line and as a scratched forward there. On defense, I would put Ekholm with Bouchard. Of course, that is the best defense pair in the entire NHL throughout the postseason. Keep them together. Now, this is where I would do a couple changes on defense. I would play Broberg with Nurse. Broberg can play his offside, and him and Nurse, they are very, very good skaters. If you have two very mobile defensemen on that second pair, that's a good thing. You're going to be able to skate yourself out of trouble. And Broberg, he has a really good first pass. We saw him make a really nice pass in the middle of the ice to Spring. I forget who it was on the breakaway. I can't remember if that was Nugent Hopkins breakaway. But in any case, Broberg, he's really good at getting that puck out of his own zone. Really good first pass. Darnell Nurse, he can skate like the wind. Philip Broberg, same thing. I would like to see Broberg maybe elevated here. Is it a lot to ask for someone that's barely played in the NHL this season to step in the Stanley Cup Finals and play on the second pair? Yes, it is. But if Kris Knoblauch and Paul Coffey are serious about winning, they would never play Ceci with Nurse ever again. And in fact, Ceci should probably just be a healthy scratch at this point. Third pair, I would have Kulak, and then I would reinsert Vinny Desharnais. In game 1, I believe Florida had 61 or 63 hits that they got credited for. They are physical. They attack defenders in the corners. Vinny Desharnais is someone that is not very easy to push around, and he's really good at blocking up the cycle. He blocks, pucks with his stick, that sort of thing. And then I would have Cody Ceci as my healthy scratch. I would not even put him in the lineup. But again, this is not an official lineup. Whatever the official lineup is, of course, it will be posted on x.com or Twitter from credentialed media members. So watch out for the Jason Mason Gregors, the Specters, the Rishags, that sort of thing. They will have an official lineup out. This is just what I would personally go with. Now, when we look at the pre-game stats heading into tonight's matchup, the Oilers are 12-7. Expected goals for ranks 4th in the postseason, 54.92%. Their power play has dropped a little bit, 35.2%, which is at 2nd now. Their penalty kill, unbelievable penalty kill. It's a 94.1%, which ranks 1st. They score 3.32 goals per game, which ranks 3rd. They give up 2.63 goals against per game, which ranks 8th. Team save percentage in all situations, 89.32%, which ranks 8th. And their team shooting percentage has dropped below 12%. That'll happen when you get shut out on 32 shots on goal. It ranks 4th at 11.37%. Now, looking over at the Florida Panthers, they rank 1st in expected goals for at 57.38%, 22.6% on the power play, which ranks 7th in the playoffs. Their penalty kill, almost as good as Edmonton's, 88.9%, which ranks 2nd best. Goals for per game, 3.22, which ranks 4th. Goals against per game, Florida is now the best team in the playoffs at goal suppression, at goals against per game. First place, 2.17. Team save percentage ranks 4th, 91.31%. And their team shooting percentage in all situations is 9.93%, which ranks 7th. So keys to the game, like I mentioned, for the Oilers to beat Sergei Bobrovsky, they've got to get traffic in front of him. They've got to make his life miserable in that blue paint, and then or his crease. And then, of course, they got to start shooting a little bit higher on him. I think that is how you're going to have to beat him and capitalize on your opportunities. The Oilers had a couple breakaways, couple odd man rushes. They did not capitalize on those opportunities. I'd like to think that if Edmonton plays as good as they did in Game 1 tonight in Game 2, they should come out on top. However, the Florida Panthers, I expect them to bounce back and play a better Game 2. It's pretty rare to see Florida get dominated the way they did in terms of shot clock and possession metrics and expected goals for. That doesn't happen often with the Florida Panthers. Sergei Bobrovsky stole one for them. We'll see if he can steal another one or if Florida will come out and assert their game and play a little bit better here. Now, my Oiler to watch, notice how it doesn't say player to watch. Oiler to watch is Kris Knoblauch. Now, I'm going a little bit off the board here. This is obviously not a player, but this is someone that is part of the Oilers coaching staff. He is the head coach, but he's my Oiler to watch because I need to see what adjustments he's going to make, not only before the game, but during the game. If the Oilers get down, if they're losing by 1 or 2 goals in the 3rd period, I need to see what Kris Knoblauch is going to do. Is he going to go back to Draisaitl and McDavid? If he does, then I think we've already lost this series. I'm not going to lie. Kris Knoblauch, he has shown how smart he is. He has shown that the decisions that he makes 9 times out of 10 work out in, the team's favor. But there were a few decisions that he made in Game 1 that were very baffling to me, and he's going to be one to watch. He's going to be, his ice time allocation for his defensemen, especially Darnell Nurse and Ceci if Ceci is in the lineup. Of course, being able to adjust on the fly, his lines, if Edmonton continues to struggle at putting the puck in the net, will he load up Draisaitl and McDavid together again? Who will he put on the 2nd line, 3rd line, that sort of thing? So Kris Knoblauch, he's not feeling the pressure yet, but this is the first time I've had him as my Oiler to watch. So we'll see if he can make the necessary adjustments to help the Oilers win, because my game day prediction is going to be an Oilers win. I do think this series is going to be all tied up at 1 heading back to Edmonton. Now you're probably going to be like, well, you predicted the Oilers in Game 1. You're just being a homer. Listen, this is what I was going to do. And I pre-plan a lot of this stuff. Game 1, yes, I predicted the Oilers to win, but Game 2, I was going to predict the Panthers to win because I truly do feel like this series is going to be tied 1-1. I think that it's going to be split heading back to Edmonton. Never did I really think that anyone would get up 2-0, but Florida has a chance to go up 2-0, and that would be quite the stranglehold on the Stanley Cup Final here. So I am predicting an Oilers win. I'm hoping they can pull it out and head back to Edmonton tied 1-1, but there's a lot of work to be done. The Florida Panthers are going to have a lot to say about this. So if you enjoyed today's pregame report, make sure you hit that like button. If you really liked it, make sure you hit subscribe. And again, friendly reminder, I will be live streaming the game tonight, live stream reacting and doing commentary. It's going to be so much fun. And of course, before you head out and watch the game, tell someone that you love them. Appreciate it, Oil Country. Your support means the world to me. We'll see you soon.